Good evening. My name is Jessica Kong, Festival Director of Happy Fest. I know everyone is left with questions after that ending. Therefore, I'm so glad we get the opportunity to interview the filmmaker tonight. Please welcome Ms. Aimee Long, co-founder of Kings Road Pictures and the writer, director, and co-producer of A Shot Through the Wall.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi, thank you so much for joining us, Aimee.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. As part of our opening night lineup, we really wanted an impact statement to kick off the festival. And what better way than to feature such an emotionally driven police drama that tests our boundaries?
Thank you for having us. We're happy to be a part of this film festival. And thank
No,
you for
thank
having
you.
us on the opening night.
No, we are so honored. Going right into your creative process for the film, how long
Okay.
have you wanted to create a film like this?
So the idea started somewhere in 2015, 2016, and we spent about a year writing this. And then the thing is, when I started writing this, I didn't think this issue would be so relevant today, and unfortunately it is something that's still in the news cycles, and it's more relevant than ever. So it is a mixed bag of emotions, honestly.
No, absolutely. Um, If, that with the current events going
Mhm.
through it during your writing process,
Sure.
were there many versions of the film that you had before landing on this final draft? Like, were the current events kind of influencing your writing process?
Oh, definitely. So the film was inspired by an actual event that happened in 2014, and I started writing this film after the verdict came down, and there was this verdict, and then a lot of Asian Americans took the street and protested for this verdict, and within the Asian American community, there was a huge debate, and I was really interested after that debate, sort of exploring where I stand as an Asian American in this spectrum of racism today in America. And yeah, so we went through many different drafts. I think it's a really difficult topic to talk about. I took a lot of artistic liberties to talk about a subject like this with this narrative. And yeah, we went through many, many different drafts. I was very fortunate. I had a good community of people who was willing to read it and give me notes. And this is my first feature, and I learned a lot through the process.
That's amazing. On the fact that you did have a lot of hot button topics in this film, race, privilege, law enforcement bias, gun violence. What was the main topic that you really wanted to spotlight most in this film?
Um, Police violence, systemic racism. I think that's one of the problems with a film like this. I think I was trying to talk about all these problems combined. I think it's a very complex issue. I didn't want to oversimplify it, and I think that I was trying to talk about too much in the film to fit into this to one film. But yes, it's systemic racism and police violence, excessive force in the policing today. That's something I really wanted to talk about.
Well, as an audience member, I can say that you did a really good job of balancing both perspectives, both the law enforcement side and, the citizen reaction side. So, I definitely applaud you because it's such a fine line to cover both perspectives. So I think you did a very tasteful job of that.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the issue. I wanted people to start a conversation, because I think back in say 2014, 15, 16, when BLM was starting, but it wasn't a national it wasn't a topic that people wanted to talk about, really. We did a lot of research, we consulted a lot of people, but I think it's a really uncomfortable topic for people. Talking about racism, talking about excessive police force, and I wanted I wanted to have a story that can explore all these topics and have people come out of the theater starting a conversation and talking about it. I think the first step of solving a problem is to start a conversation and talk about it in the open. So yeah, I think that's what 2020 did to a lot of us when the tragedy of George Floyd happened. I think people are starting to talk about this issue, and I think it was really encouraging to see people talking about it. But I wish these tragedies stop happening, and that's really unfortunate.
Absolutely. And I think you chose really great storytellers to help, give voice and a face to your film and your story. How did you create your cast? Who was the first person to jump on board on the film?
It was a long process. I had a really amazing casting director, Pat McCorkle. She really believed in me, believed in the project, and she spent a long time with me. I think to look for the lead, we spent almost 10 months together trying to find Mike Tan, my main character, and to start to see that family. I was very lucky. Kenny Luke came into my audition, and we really clicked, and he really understood that character. And then from there, Ty was who plays the father, Ty Mod. He is a dream to work with. He's, everybody's Asian American dad, and he was just a joy to have around set. And he was really, really supportive, and we had a really great time because of him. And then Lynn Chen, I always wanted to work with her ever since Saving Face. That's one of my favorite films. And then Fiona, who plays the mother. We also looked for her for a long time. Looked for that character, and then I was really lucky. She is a Canadian actress, Canadian Chinese actress, and we Zoom. This was before Zoom, so I think we Skyped, and then I had a Skype audition, and we just clicked. And she really
was a natural in terms of adopting that motherly role, the typical Asian mother.
Yes, exactly. And she just really encompassed that character, and I was really lucky to have that family.
That's really cool. And how much did they actually have any influence in shaping their character's portrayal as well?
Oh, sure. We had many conversations. And I think the film was written in English, and Fiona and we just went back and forth with translations and how certain things are said, and it was a really fun and creative process.
And then speaking of social issues, social media really, in my opinion, played a huge role in this film. It's far too easy to be influenced by the internet and the judgment of the mob mentality or mob majority. The scrutiny in politics ultimately consumed the character, Mike, throughout the film. Was that kind of your intention, to show, kind of the more fatalistic, sides of social media?
Oh, totally. I think I'm not a very social media savvy person. I think we had a conversation earlier. I think two and some years ago was the first time I started an Instagram account, which I'm not very active on still. but yeah, this day and age, I think, it's hard to avoid it, and it's just a part of our lives now. So I think I just wanted to write a film that reflects how we are living today in the society we are in today. So
that's great.
mm-hmm.
One of the things I wanted to bring up was the ending. As everybody saw, there was very an emotional ending towards the end. Was that your original intention? Is that how you wanted to end your film? Like, did you always envision Mike's death by the hands of cops? And then did you also envision having the mothers, meet at some point?
Yes. So how the script came about, I think we had the beginning where the incident happened and the end. I think the multiple drafts are always in the middle. We change it a lot in the middle of the journey, but the ending that's where we wanted to land it. That's always what we had. And yeah, I mean, I think the ending says everything I wanted to say about this film. And I just had we had more of a journey trying to get there.
Absolutely. Um, if you had extended the ending where the moms meet and they actually had to, communicate, what did you have in mind for them to say to each other, if anything?
I think that's the most difficult part. I honestly, to answer your question honestly, I don't know. I think this is the place where I want the conversation to start. Because we all want to start a conversation that can end this problem. I think that's where the conversation should start, is these people who actually lost their lives and have these things to happen to them, where a mother would never see their son coming home again. And it's that's where the tragedy lies. Enough is enough. And that's where I wanted to start the conversation. So that's I hope that answers your question.
No, it does. You know, personally, one of my takeaways was, you know, and is of growing concern to me is the enforcing of safer and stricter gun laws. Um, that scene where Mike is confronted about having the gun in the house was just super powerful. Um, and his father's reaction to it, you know, um, with the increased gun-related violence and, especially over the past year, what kind of conversations do you think we can have, to put people into action to getting better, safer gun laws? Do you think we should, uh, have legislators reach out to legislators, et cetera? What is your
I think
opinion?
that's I think that's definitely one way to do it. I think there's way too many mass shootings and casualties from relaxed gun laws. I think I am very much for gun control. I think there should be background checks. I think there should be um, uh, it shouldn't be that easy to carry. At least personally, to me, that's how I feel about the issue. Um, I saw you mentioning uh, we were having this conversation before, and there was a relaxed gun law that your governor is proposing, and
Yeah, currently Texas is proposing a bill that will actually um, virtually eliminate, background checks, training, permits for, I think, ages over 21. And, you know, seeing the past stories, you think it would spurn more action into making stricter laws. And so I think what your film really shows is the need for more discussion, the need for more, evidence and research on the subject matter. Um,
definitely.
so I really hope that people get the chance to, watch your film and and like you said, have that conversation,
Oh,
you know.
definitely. Yeah, I think it's yeah, I think that's ever so important now.
Hmm.
Especially every day on the news, there's a mass shooting somewhere, and I think we're starting to grow immune to numb to news stories like that. And I don't think that should be acceptable. Acceptable. I think that should, some action should be taken. Um,
Right.
yeah.
Uh, and I think that kind of stems back to our social media talk as well. Sometimes when you see it so much on your newsfeed, you get desensitized to it.
Yes.
But we should really have the opposite reaction. It should outrage us more, make us more proactive. So, um, kind of going back to, your film production process, what were some of the
Mhm.
challenges that you faced making the film, if any?
Um, oh, there's a hurdle of challenges that we have to cross. But I think so. We are very small. We had a very small budget, and we shot mostly on location in New York City. I think in the middle of the summer, and there was, yeah, we had a lot of locations, and we had, you know the film production in New York City. I think one night we lost our location for the next day for a courtroom scene where Mike, so the union rep comes, um, and the lawyer comes to inform him that he's gotten a deal, and that scene was supposed to take place before the courtroom scene starts, and we had this location booked, and that was, we lost that location very last minute. I think it was, about 12 hours prior, and then we had a close set. We just got the house. We're supposed to dress the house, which is his parents' house,
Hmm.
and where he sleeps, so where he stays. And I think we were really lucky. Fiona Fu, who plays the mother, she just flew in that morning from Vancouver, and we thought, oh, we should just have that scene in the backyard, back porch, and that's the only place. I mean, we didn't need to dress much
Right.
for that. Yeah, so that night I wrote her into the story because I feel like she would be there
Oh,
for that.
no,
And then
that was
that
perfect. The fact that you even bring that up, I think that's amazing because I thought it flowed seamlessly because it dives back into that, the mother, child relationship where if there's guests over, she wants to appease them. And
oh,
so even
totally.
even if it's the wrong time, they'll always insert
Yes,
themselves.
definitely. Oh, of course. Yeah, I think that's a very Asian American mother
Yeah.
thing to do. And also, authority figure or whatnot, and the respect, and
Hmm.
the food, and the need to feed them to, and I thought that really made that seem better, in my
No,
opinion. And
absolutely.
we really had fun with that scene, and that was one of the challenges that we were just, yeah, we had so many locations in New York City, and we were so we had such a small budget, so we got bumped in a lot of places.
Uh,
And but yeah, we were able to solve those problems, and it ultimately became a really challenging film to shoot, but I think we cross a lot of those hurdles.
no, I think so. I think you definitely accomplished, a really great, film for even being on a low budget. You can't even tell. I felt like it was done really well. So great,
Thank
great
you.
execution.
Thank you.
This year's festival theme is about raising communities, and your film block's theme was raising awareness.
Mhm.
That's one of the reasons you and your co-producer, Daniel Langa, also founded
Mhm.
the Kings Road Pictures. Can you
Yes.
tell us a little bit more about your production company and explain the drive and the explanation behind your mission statement, the realities of today with the dreams of our future possibilities?
Yeah, I think for us it was really important. So we found the production company in 2014, and we were writing films and we were developing films, and I mean, back this was before Crazy Rich Asians and the small wave of Asian American films that came out. And to us, I really want to see myself represented on the big screen. And because growing up, we had um, uh, Amy Tan's film. Wow, it just skipped my
Joy Luck
mind.
Club.
Joy Luck Club. Thank you. That's pretty much the only thing we had. We had Mulan and Joy Luck Club, and to me, it was really important. I really wanted to see myself represented on the big screen, and to tell our stories and to throw our voice in the mix. And so we wanted to make films that represent the world we live in today. And then also, I think as filmmakers, we have a responsibility and we have a voice, which I think we should use that very consciously. And so we wanted to make these films that has a social that can raise social awareness, and that was sort of our mission. And so we actively goes out and look for materials and develop materials that fits our vision. So yeah.
No, that's great. The best thing you can do with a platform like film is make it both entertaining and educational. So
Oh, totally.
yeah, I definitely feel that.
Yeah.
If the audience would like to watch your film again or share with a friend, how can they view or purchase the film?
I would love to have them see it here, and so right now we're looking for distribution still, and so once we have a distributor, I would happily let you guys know, and I would love for more people to watch this film.
Absolutely. We will definitely share all of that information.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you so much, Aimee, for taking time out of your busy schedule. We really appreciated this conversation, and I know we could definitely, make this an hour-long conversation.
Well, thank you so much, Jessica, for having me. I'm so proud to be a part of this festival, and I hope people enjoy the film.
Oh, thank you. This concludes tonight's Q&A. Audience, if you'd like to follow Aimee and get updates on all of her projects and follow the film's updates as well, please go to their website and the social media handles below. This concludes day 1 of HAAPIFEST. Tomorrow's film block will be Raising Youth, 3 films spotlighting the various stages of motherhood, from expecting to losing them far too soon. If you haven't already, please reserve your tickets at haapifest.com, and have a great evening.